Hi guys, Aaron Leaf Green, the Green Psychic. But tonight, on a Wednesday, I am the Humpday Helper. So I hope your week has been good, and I hope the rest of the week is fantastic because we're on the downhill slope now. Okay, for those people that are new here, on a Wednesday night on Humpday Helper, I pull one card from the deck that I feel the universe is drawing us to talk about. It's not primarily psychic on a Wednesday night, it's more let's have a chat. And the universe gives us a topic to talk about. Now, I've actually already pulled the card because this is my second time recording. Well, it's my second time going through all of this. It's my first time hitting the record button. Yeah. Okay, so the card tonight is the elderly card. So Padink. Now, I am just going to run quickly through this because, like I said, this is the second time I've spoken about this, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. Okay, so the elderly card. Again, not psychic, but I will explain this card because I feel like it's all relevant to the topic tonight. So just very quickly, I made this card, so like I made my deck of cards. So this card, I'm going to tell you what it was intended to be and how it relates outwards. Okay, so first of all, you've got the old couple there, the elderly couple. Now, just from looking at them, the elderly couple, yeah, this card is a reflection of elderly people around us, but it's also a reflection of time, ongoing. I'm sure if you've been following for a while, you've heard me say that the elderly card is about retirement age, that sort of a thing. But there's more to it than that. This elderly couple, they've been together since they were childhood sweethearts, you know, got together when they were 16, now they're 80 and they're still together, married for a long time. Now, as an elderly couple, we're going with the stereotypes here or the cliches. You know, you can imagine that they've been married and, you know, he may have gone off to fight in the war and come back, and you can imagine that these two people have been through thick and thin and all the experiences that come with being a married couple and growing together throughout time. You can imagine that they've had kids and grandkids and maybe even great grandkids. You can imagine them having anniversaries and birthdays and Christmases and traveling around this world and all of this stuff. They've got all this experience, right? Now, in this card, it's not a death card. This isn't symbolizing, but it is kind of giving a wink to the fact that they're running out of time on this earth, but they're still together. They're still holding hands. They're still in love. Now, in my mind, they're on one last trip around the world. So with all that experience that they've been through, in this card, they're sitting in front of this beautiful mountain at night with the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. And because I created this card, I know they've never seen that before. So it's showing that even in this old age of 80, after everything they've gone through, they're still experiencing new things. They're still seeing these beautiful, fresh sights and having these moments together that, okay, they won't cherish for a lifetime because their lifetime is almost over, but they share together. Okay, now, what is that saying? There are several topics here. So, first off, obviously we'll get the elephant out of the room. The most obvious thing here is about elderly people in our lives. We never know how much time we have left on the planet. We also don't know how long the elderly people around us have left on the planet. So it's very important to right the wrongs, if any, that you have in your life. Look, I am into forgiveness and second chances, but I'm not into third and fourth and fifth chances. Look, when I was earlier in my life, I disowned my father. He was an evil piece of work, and I just one day turned around and said, no, I want nothing more to do with you. A lot more to that story, but it's my way of saying that, yes, I believe in forgiveness and second chances, but when you get to the 8th or 9th chance, you need to learn that some people don't change, so it's up to you to change. And that's what I did. I'm like, I'm not putting up with this anymore. So, yeah, forgiveness goes a long way. It does. But I'm not so naive to believe that forgiveness will make everything hunky-dory. Okay, so what I'm saying here is have forgiveness in your heart, but when you get to a point where you're getting burned again, giving a person a second chance, fine, maybe even a third chance. But when you get burnt again, that's when you get rid of those people out of your life, okay? All that negative crap aside, this card really does reflect a time frame. It puts things into perspective that regardless of how old or young you are, imagine the life ahead that you have. What does it look like? What do you want to achieve out of that life? Is there anything that you can achieve now that you put off for a later time? Is there anything now that you can change to make your life better to get where you want to go? Okay? This is very much about having respect, not just for the elderly around us. You may be the elderly, and it may be that you need to pass on your wisdom to a younger generation. Okay, so look, this card itself is not a negative card. It's actually a good, positive card. There's a lot of love in it with the couple being together. So it is like, spread the love, share the love. It's a reminder that we don't know how much time we have left. So make every day count, okay? Live in the moment. Again, anybody that's followed me knows that I'm very big with having a watercolor picture of where you want to go and what you want to do. You know, it's not, in my opinion, it's not smart to fill out every single detail because then you hinder the universe from helping you work, getting from point A to point B. But it is good to have an idea of what you want to achieve and where you want to go. Living in the moment isn't, and it isn't, a lot of people use it as an excuse to get drunk or high or quit their job or do this or do that and follow the selfish desires in oneself. That's not what I'm talking about. Each to their own, again, no judgment. But what I'm talking about is living in the moment is like, wow, I am on this I'm on this planet, and the year is 2022 right now, and I have electricity, and I have a roof over my head, and I have friends and family, and my health is good, and there's food, and there's water, and transport. And imagine if I lived in the world in the 800 AD. What would I be doing back then? Would I be struggling to eat? Would I be in the midst of war? Would there be lack of work? Like, what would I be doing? Would I be enslaved and working for... Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of history that goes on, which are, again, elderly. It's about time. So part of us as being human and as being spiritual beings is having some sort of reverence and remembrance of what has transpired on this planet, okay? And by doing that and it makes you truly thankful for where you are in your life, and it gives you that appreciation, and it is living in the moment. It's appreciating what's around you. You know, there are going to be times in our life where we're stuck in a situation that we cannot change, no matter how hard we want. Think of being trapped in school with a teacher that bullies you, okay? There's nothing you can do in situations like that. You have to have a coping mechanism, a way to get through. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. You know, having this reflection of where you are and what is working in your life and what is good in your life compared to 3,000 years ago, for instance. It may not physically change and alter your life, but it may do it up here. And up here is where our coping mechanisms are, and gives us the strength in order to tolerate situations that we cannot change and to look on the bright side. Basically, all this whole conversation is about getting you to a point where you may not physically be able to change a negative outcome, but you might be able to change the way of thinking, and thus give yourself some peace and happiness in a trying time. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I know I rambled a bit with this one tonight. It's only because I've recorded twice that I kept getting confused as to what I'd said and what I hadn't. I will leave it there. You know how to get in contact with me if you wish. I will be back on Sunday night with a very special triple deck reading. So I hope to see you guys there. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week and peace out.